ready.
Well, since I can't really do every 41st Elite clone trooper when it comes to the Kashyyyk green camo just yet, I can, however, do every 41st Elite Coruscant landing platform clone trooper figure they've released in the Hasbro Star Wars 3¼ inch scale. I just talked about these three because I just reviewed him right there, so those won't be talked about too much. I really just want to talk about these ones, because A, they're interesting and they're pretty cool. There's some issues, though, that I need to talk about. But yeah, let's get on with it. No dilly-dallying, no goofing around. Let's start talking about some clones. Yeah, this guy is very, very yellowed. This is the original 2005 Coruscant Landing Platform Clone Trooper that came with the Clone Attack on Coruscant Battle Pack. Do you want to know why it's yellowed? Because, oddly enough, his legs, arms, and head were yellowed, and I figured, hey, let's dip him in hydrogen peroxide, maybe the rest of his body will get better, and it did, but it resulted in his torso actually getting worse, because hydrogen peroxide treatment, believe it or not, what it freaking does, it bleaches it, right? But it brings it back, but even worse. It triggers it to come back more severely after a while, so just don't dip your figures in hydrogen peroxide. Someone recommended hydrogen peroxide cream, maybe, to help. I don't know. All I know is that one of the only solid solutions is to actually sand off the yellowed plastic, because yellowing is only surface level. So yeah, I don't know what your real solutions are when it comes to a permanent fix on that. But yeah, it's kind of disappointing. Anyways, you may be wondering, why do you have two of the exact same figure here? Well, that's because the Clone Attack on Coruscant Battle Pack was released multiple times. This is the original 2005 release, and this is one of the later, 30th Anniversary Saga Collection releases. The only difference between these figures: the original 2005 does not have peg holes on the feet. The later issues do. That's it. It's the only differences. Let's just remove him, because I don't want to look at that. Let's look at one of the later ones, because a lot of people don't like this figure because it's kind of limited in articulation in the arms. It has a really nice ball joint at the head, so you can move it all nice and well. Only has swivels at the shoulders and swivels at the elbows. That's it. Honestly, for an army builder pack like the Clone Attack on Coruscant set, I have no problem with it, because they still hold their guns nice, they still aim them nice. You pretty much get the poses you really need. I mean, they still look good on display. I have no problem with it. Swivel at the torso there. Oddly enough, though, the belt is connected to the top part of the torso. You actually have really nice swivels at the hips there, because the sculpt is kind of made for it to move. Standard joints at the knees and ankles, so at least you have that going. Yeah, this is the first version. The battle pack also came with that blue Commander Bakara, which is really cool, but Hasbro just made that guy up, so I am not counting him in this set, okay? I know people are going to mention, oh, shouldn't you count that guy? No, I'm not, because he's not, he wasn't in the movie. He wasn't clearly identified as a 41st Elite landing platform. For all I know, he was just a 501st guy that was just along with the ride, or he was just a blue guy. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not counting him, so don't mention it. Next up, we have what I consider to be one of the definitive versions, if not the definitive version, of the Coruscant Landing Platform Trooper, and that's the antenna mold version. I really love this version. I believe it was released in the 30th Anniversary line, or the Saga Legends subline of the 30th Anniversary, and it's really nice, man. I love the antenna mold. To this day, I still feel like it's the definitive Clone Trooper mold, even though I feel like they just need to take the upper body and maybe just update the legs. For some reason, the antenna does not want to stay on mine. It's just not staying on. But yeah, they need to update the legs just so the hips can move forward a little more comfortably, because that's pretty much all you really get with this mold. But yeah, other than that, I really do love this figure, pretty much super articulated. I'm not sure if this is the antenna it came with. It could have been, but it has like a nice silver paint to it. Could be wrong, though. I don't know if that's the one it came with, but that's the one I display him with. Yeah, what can I say? It's a really nice figure. It has all the really necessary paint details. It's arguable whether or not 41st Elite Troopers should have gray feet or not. None of these figures have gray feet. I just realized it got out of focus. Come on, there we go. None of these figures have gray feet, so I'm not sure if they're supposed to have gray feet, but it looks like they should from what I see in the movie. Who knows, though? But yeah, there we go. 41st Elite Landing Platform. Epic! Next up, we have the 41st Elite Landing Platform Commander, released in the Evolutions set. Oh my god, this guy is awesome. Look at that deco on the camo, man. Oh, it's so nice. He has silver on his pauldron. Silver! That is so cool. I love this mold. It's just a really nice mold. I really like the 327th Felucia repaints of this mold, but I also really like this one. I need to do a video on just these kind of Clone Commander molds, because there's actually been quite a few. Expect that in the future, because I have all of these at least. But yeah, he has a removable helmet with the Tamora Morrison head underneath. One of my favorite Tamora Morrison head sculpts they've done. It's the original Revenge of the Sith mold they used back in the day. Revenge of the Sith figure likenesses actually weren't that bad. I think this is a nice head, even though his mouth is slightly agape for whatever reason. Kind of reminds me of a Gumby character from the, the Gumby stuff, if you know what that is. Anyways, yeah. To get the chin not showing underneath the helmet, what you do, you have to take the head, move it up, then you just lip the helmet underneath it, and then boom, you don't see the chin. Isn't that awesome? You may be wondering, oh, J4, are you going to talk about the thing that happens where you can like swap out the armor? Yes, I am, because I have a second one that is yellowed and also has a very messed up helmet. Let's just say there's a reason I have a second one. But yeah, I just display this one as a normal trooper because, A, you can do that. It comes with the alternate belt to just make him a normal 327th, oh lord. Extra 41st Elite Coruscant Landing Platform Trooper. Yeah, what happened with the helmet there? I think, it was years back. The visor got scratched up, so I thought, hey, I can fix it with Sharpie. No, you can't. Do not take your Sharpies to your clone figures, especially if it's a softer plastic, because it ends up looking purple, like he has a black eye, like this one. Yeah, don't do that. Just a little disclaimer from J4. Yeah, so I had no complaints getting a second version when I eventually got the whole Evolution set. He was also re-released in the 30th Anniversary Collection, single-carded, so that's really cool too. Yeah, I think I've been talking about this one long enough. Really nice figure. I recommend it. Of course, we've got to talk about let's just talk about them both at the same time. I've talked about these for quite some time. The Black Series 41st Elite Coruscant Landing Platform. This is horribly inaccurate, and it's just horrible. It's just missing so much of the gray. Then they reissued it, and then it has like this greenish gray, and it doesn't even have the gray on the belly or belt, and the belt is like an off-white instead. Yeah, they really messed up on this. I don't know what they were thinking, man. That's why they ended up making a third one, and we'll talk about that later. But yeah, these exist. If you're not a clone completionist like me, just avoid these ones. They are not worth it. Just get the new Vintage Collection one. If you want to know more about my opinions on these, check out my worst Clone Trooper video, Redux. Don't watch the first one. Watch the Redux video where I kind of elaborate on my opinion a little bit more. Mostly it's just inaccurate and I don't like the slim body. Then this one I already said it's not fully accurate. So let's just set those down and let's just finish this off. Here's the Vintage Collection version. A lot of people might consider this the definitive version. Me personally, I don't, because like I said in my full review, I don't like the body. I think it's just way too slim. I mean, it poses nice. You can get poses out of it, which I appreciate. You can move the legs way more forward. But yeah, the body's just way too slim and the helmet is just way too humongous. They really just need to do something different. Even though, one thing I do appreciate, as I pointed out in the review, it has the face print tech on that head sculpt there. Even though it's not Tamora Morrison. Okay, thanks for that, Hasbro. But yeah, there we go. It's pretty much all of the 41st Elite Landing Platform clones. So there we go. That's it. That's every 41st Elite Landing Platform Clone Trooper figure Hasbro made. Pretty concise collection here. Not really too many variants. Thankfully, I mean, these guys didn't really appear in the movie for too long. Fun fact, though, if you're looking very closely on the scene on Utapau where Commander Cody's talking to the Airborne Trooper, you can actually see one of these guys on Utapau in the background. Very, very closely, you have to look. But there actually is a 41st Elite Clone Trooper on Utapau. I'm not exactly sure why, but I think that's a really neat little detail there. Maybe he's just, maybe some backup on Utapau. They sent some extra 41st Elites there. I don't know, but I think that's really cool. It's almost like the Star Wars Battlefront games, the original ones, where they're like, oh yeah, the 501st pitched in on literally every battle in Revenge of the Sith. I think that was kind of funny. But yeah, cool little detail there. Hopefully I was able to get a picture up as well. That's pretty much it. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Check out my social media links down in the description below, as well as my P.O. Box address if you want to, send me some interesting stuff. I've gotten some very interesting stuff in the P.O. Box. Very interesting stuff. There we go. Have a good day. Force be with you. Blah, blah. Don't forget, clones rule, droids drool. Got him.